Hello at magandang kamalayan sa inyong lahat at nandito na naman tayo sa ating klase. Well, I actually started a class kanina with a set, with a backdrop, but I don't know what happened. There's something went wrong with my audio. I don't know if there's still something wrong with my audio now. No, I'm using now just my cell phone and my I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm like burp ako. My lapel microphone here. So, as I've said, we are going to find out exactly if you are now having a higher consciousness, or if you're living now in terms of having a 4D consciousness, or still in the third dimensional consciousness, or 3D. So, I'd like to say hello to Gerard Reyes. Gerard, ito si Gerard Avant-Garde. Gerard. Gerard. Gerard Reyes, Gerard Walsh. Ayan. Kasi apelido niya si Neil Donald Walsh. Anyway, so hello from Dagupan City. Okay, so we are now going to find out if you are having a higher consciousness. I will give you some signs as to whether you are already there, living in this 4D consciousness or 5D. And number one, again, as I have listed here, is you are a warm-hearted person already. Ano ibig sabihin ng warm-hearted person? You are hindi ka cold. Opposite of warm is cold. So you're a warm-hearted person. You are accommodating. You're nice. You're friendly. Yan ang mga bagay na siguro mag-describe sa isang taong who is warm-hearted. Ano pa? Ano pa ang mga nakikita natin mga bagay na kung saan ay tayo ay meron ng masasabing kakaibang kamalayan o tumaas na kamalayan natin. Well, number two is yun na nga, you actually appreciate the simple things, or it's not exactly the ordinary things, but the simple things, the small things. Hindi na yung masyadong magarbo, hindi ka na masyadong maluho, hindi ka na masyadong marangya. You're able to now enjoy simple pleasures, simple taste na. Hindi ka na naghahanap ng kung saan ay gusto mong ma-experience yung mga luho na talagang masarap naman ma-experience yun, at least once in a while. Pero kung palagi mo hinahanap pa rin yan, or yung pa rin ang lifestyle mo, of course, depende yan eh. If you're really rich and talaga you can afford it to have that kind of a lifestyle, okay lang yan. Pero even if you are already that kind of a person who's siguro yun nga sabi accomplished, a billionaire for that matter, and somehow if your consciousness is really already evolved, hindi ka na naghahanap pa ng more sports cars or more money. I mean, you would now look for the simple things that you would want to now experience, no, or enjoy. So yan ang nakikita mo sa isang taong medyo mataas na ang kamalayan. And another thing pa, kung ano pang pwedeng ma-experience, makita natin sa isang taong maganda na ang kamalayan niya or mas mataas na. And one of them is that you no longer desire to compete. Ayaw mo na yung nakikipagkompetensya ka. Hindi mo na kino-compare yung sarili mo sa kung ano-ano, kung sino-sino. Kontento ka na being you, and somehow you're very much comfortable with what you are, with what you have, and you don't actually try to find out what other people have, and kumbaga kung wala ka nun, may inggit ka. And so, dito natin na makikita ang isang taong medyo mataas na ang kamalayan, someone who is already able to say, I don't need to compete. I mean, I am now fine with who I am. I am happy with, who I am. With being by myself, or being what I am now. So before I continue, I'd like to say hi to Myla Itable. And kanina doon sa kabila, doon sa aking unang palpak na video. Kasi wala akong microphone doon at saka nung nagkamaroon, hindi raw maganda ang sound. I don't know kung maganda lang ang sound ko rito ngayon. No? I'm using the same microphone. But as I've said, sino ba yung mga nandun kanina? Sila Mario Chan Jr. and si Bea Inocentes. Inocentes. Bea, yeah. Sino pa ba? Si Marius Gallardo. Anyway, to continue. So, you are not anymore trying to compete with anyone or with anything. So, for that matter, hindi ka na nainggit. Wala ka nang gustong patunayan pa. Yan ang isang taong masasabi mo mataas na ang kamalayan. Now, another way of looking or finding out if you have a higher consciousness already is you are now more productive than ever. Ang dami mo nagagawa, ang dami mong naiisip, or you are being more creative, or being more, sabi nga, productive. So, ang dami mo na-accomplish. Na walang hirap. Enjoy ka lang. Yan ang isang taong mataas na ang kamalayan. Hindi yung palagi iniisip na ano pa nangyayari sa buhay ko, parang wala naman nangyayari. But if you're living in a higher consciousness, ang dami mong nakikitang nangyayari sa buhay mo through synchronicity or through your creations. No? Kasi you really attract what you really want to attract, or what you really create now, the things that you want to create in your life, what you want to have. Alright, so ano pa ang nakikita natin sa mga taong mataas ang kamalayan? Medyo maganda na yung behavior nila. Hindi na sila yung nagwawala. Hindi na sila yung bigla na lang nag-change ng emotional attitude or their emotions in terms of being angry at once, and then kumbaga biglang tatahimik ulit, tapos mamaya biglang magagalit. No? So basically, you don't find that kind of a behavior in a person who has a higher consciousness. Ang taong mataas ang consciousness relax lang, cool. So, ano pa bang mga nakikita natin sa isang taong mataas ang kamalayan? Okay. One of them is yun talaga. Ang mahal niya talaga sa buhay niya ay hindi lang ang Diyos, hindi lang ang ibang tao, kundi ang sarili niya rin. Alright. Ang sarili niya ay talagang masasabi niyang maganda. Walang kulang, kumpleto. Masaya siya with what he is or what she is like. Tanggap niya ang sarili niya kahit na may pagkapalpak kuminsan ang nangyayari sa buhay niya, okay lang. She's able or he is able to forgive himself or herself. Oh, si Mitch de Guzman, which the G is watching. Hello. Alright, to continue. So, self-love is present in someone who has a higher consciousness. And another one is, sabi ko nga kanina, nabanggit ko na ito. Hindi pala. Doon sa kabila ko nabanggit ito, doon sa isang video ko na kinancel ko na. Hindi madrama ang buhay niya. Hindi siya mahilig makipag-away. Hindi siya mahilig maging emosyonal with other people. Alam niyo yung, di ba, mga telenovela, puro ganyan eh. Ma-action, madrama, andyan ang mga galit, mga hinagpis, mga sama ng loob, mga yung mga bagay na talagang napapanood natin sa telenovela. Kaya kung kayo ay mahilig manood sa telenovela, I'm sure ang buhay nyo ay katulad ng mga nangyayari sa telenovela. So kung ayaw nyo mangyari yung nangyayari sa telenovela, okay, manood niyan. No? Bawas-bawasan nyo. Piliin nyo kung ano yung mga gusto nyo panoorin. Ako, mahilig din ako sa telenovela. Pero mga pinapanood ko nun, yung mga telenovela nila Liza Soberano at ni Enrique Hill, no? At yun nga, kina Daniel Padilla at saka kay Catherine Bernardo. Ayan ang mga gusto ko. Ayoko yung mga masyadong yung mga hiwalayan, yung mga puro may kabit, ganyan. Sa akin, gusto ko yung mga puppy love, yung mga first love, o yung young love, yung ganyan. Mas gusto ko yung romantic love. Kaysa yung mga naghihiwalayan, ayoko yan eh. Hindi ko type yung ganong klaseng pagmamahalan na pinapakita sa TV. Hindi dapat yun eh. Kasi ang tunay na pagmamahalan ay yung talagang, I would say, well, of course, andyan yung, hindi mo naman masasabing hindi kayo nag-aaway. Well, of course, andyan yung awayan. Pero hindi na mas madalas. Okay? So, nakokontrol. At mas marami yung mga enjoyable moments. Alright. Another one is, another sign that you are having a higher consciousness already is, sabi ni Mitch DG, ayoko ng melodramatic. Gusto ko feel good lang. Of course. Di ba? Sino ba naman may gusto ng mga may sampalan, may sigawan? Imagine na dalawa lang kayo, magkasama kayo sa isang kwarto, magkalapit kayo, pero nagsisigawan kayo. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Para bang ang gusto mong iparating is para hindi kanya nadidinig, kaya mo siya sinisigawan. O ayaw kanya pakinggan, kaya kailangan kang sumigaw. Ganun ba yun? Hindi pa pwedeng pag-usapan lang na malumay, hindi ba? Magtataka ka eh. Dalawa lang sila sa isang kwarto, maliit lang yung kwarto, magkaharap sila, mga 1 foot away from each other, pero nagsisigawan. Ano yung sabihin nun? Hindi nagkakarinigan. Kasi pag sumisigaw ka, para lang naman marinig ka eh. Hindi ka ba natidinig ng normal mong boses? Kailangan mo pa sumigaw? Ibig sabihin nun, bakit ganyan pag nag-aaway, no? Nagsisigawan. Ayan. Alright. Anyway, so, wala na. Huwag na tayo masyado madrama. So, stay away from drama. Kung mataas ang kamalayan mo, iniiwasan mo na yan. Alright. Another sign that you are already having a higher consciousness is masyado ka ng maamo, mabait. You're kind and considerate and compassionate. Ikaw ay tawag dito yung marunong kang makipagkapwa-tao. Ayan. So, kung mataas ang kamalayan mo, madalas ay isang tao kang yung damayan. You're kind, you're compassionate, at you're able now to really give that kind of love to practically everyone. Wala kang pinipili. Okay. So, kailan na ba tayo? Marami na tayo. Ano sabi? Do you have most of those things? Kasi kung sasabihin mo marami ka ng mga nabanggit ko, sabihin mataas-taas na ang kamalayan mo. Okay ka na. But you have to keep it up, no? Alright. Siguro, for tonight, the last one I would share is, ang isang taong, sabi nga natin na maganda na yung kamalayan niya, ay nais pa rin niyang itaas pa ng husto ang kamalayan. Like for example ako, I studied consciousness for almost more than 20 years now. And still, I study consciousness as if I am just a newcomer. Dahil may bago palagi natututunan eh. At hindi ko pa alam lahat. And somehow, itong kamalayan na pinag-aaralan ko, consciousness, is not even being taught in schools eh. So, saan mo makukuha ito? That's why nga, ang title nga ng aking school, pangalan ng school ko is Shifting Consciousness Higher Online Learning. Online Lifelong Learning. And because this is This is where you will find only, this is the only school, my school, my class, kung saan ako nagtuturo ng Kamalayan. Kaya dito na ninyo ako puntahan. At sabi ko nga, hindi tinuturo to sa eskwelahan. Sa psychology, tinuturo lang is behavior. No? When they teach you about consciousness, they teach you about conscience or being conscious, not exactly about consciousness. And why is it so important to learn about consciousness? Because consciousness is the one that creates our reality. Kung ano yung nangyayari sa mundo natin ngayon, yan ang kamalayan na umiiral sa buhay natin. And right now, nagkaroon tayo ngayon ng standoff in terms of, itong shutdown or lockdown. Kumbaga itong nararanasan natin na mga pangyayari ngayon, na kung saan tumigil ang lahat, trabaho, eskwelahan, ito ay dapat maintindihan natin sa pag-iisip ng buhay natin na gusto natin mangyari na sa pagbabago ng mundo natin. Huwag na natin isipin pa, babalik pa rin natin yung dati natin nakagisnan o yung nakaraan. Wala na yan. Hindi na natin maibabalik yan. Hindi na natin dapat ibalik yan. Kaya siguro nga tumigil ang mundo natin dahil nga hindi naging maganda ang takbo ng buhay natin. Hindi naging maganda ang takbo ng kamalayan natin. What is it really that is in our consciousness that had created that? Many of our beliefs, our belief system practically made it happen. Na matigil itong nangyayaring lahat ito. Dahil naging negative na tayo, sobrang negative, we destroyed practically many of the things that we actually are seeing in our environment, sa kalikasan natin. So, ito na yung nangyayaring talagang hindi maganda. So, kung titignan natin talaga ang takbo ng mundo natin, tanggalin mo ang mga tao sa ating mundo, maganda ang takbo ng mundo. Kung iiwanan lang natin yung mga animals and plants alone, this world is a paradise. Sino ba sumira nito? Tayo eh. Tayo ang may kagagawan eh. Kaya tayo ngayon ang may problema. Pati tuloy ang ating mga friends from the other kingdoms, like the plant kingdoms and the animal kingdoms. The animal kingdom, pinakialaman natin, sinira na natin, pinagpapatay natin. So, somehow nagkaroon ng imbalance. And this is now the thing that had happened to us. And that we are now being told by our Mother Earth, our Gaia. Sabi sa atin, tigil na kayo. Masyado na kayong sumusobra. Remember, it's not God who actually is trying to tell us that. It's not God. God is just allowing us. God gave us free will. And so, ito nga tanong pinag-aaralan kong kamalayan ngayon, I never got to really find the answers from people. Because, yes, many have written books on consciousness. And somehow, magaganda. And it had taught me a lot of things. Pero the best teachers now that I am now really learning from, you will be surprised. And I had been telling people already many times about this, and people are shocked when I tell them this. I get to learn now more about consciousness, about spirituality, about God, from extraterrestrials. E.T. Hindi spirit guides, E.T. Why E.T.? Don't tell me hindi kayo naniniwala na mayroong buhay sa ibang planeta. I'm sure you believe that. Hindi natin pwede sabihin na tayo lang ang nilalang sa buong universe. Ang daming galaxies. Ilang milyon yan na planeta dyan, nandiyan dyan. Tapos sasabihin mo, tayo lang ang may buhay dito sa mundong ito, sa Earth. Nandito lahat? Ano ito? Bakit nandito lahat? Sabihin, kung ito talaga yan, dapat dito natin nakikita lahat. And I'm sure hindi ganun yan. So what I am now trying to share with you is, we know that there are other evolved or higher, there are other beings we consider higher evolved than us, who had been through this situation that we are now experiencing as well. And somehow they are helping us because they know what happened to them in the past. Ganito, sabi nga nila, we are the youngest among all those in this universe. The human beings are the youngest beings at this point in time. Others have already evolved to a higher level. Tayo na lang ang naiiwan pa dahil tayo nga pinakabata, and we're not in a hurry nga. Sabi, don't be in a hurry because basically you're learning new things. And yun na nga, I had been learning from extraterrestrials, from ETs, all these new things that I'm teaching here now. Ang ganda ng tinuturo nila. As I have noticed, no, since sabi nga, God created the entire world, entire universe, God created everything. So even this ET or these extraterrestrials were made by God, the same God. And you know, all the while I thought they had a different God. But when I actually heard them talk, when I actually read their books, what they had written, kasi some of them wrote books that were channeled, or some of them gave lectures that were being channeled as well. And somehow they were telling people na the God that they believe in is basically, it's the same God that we believe in as well. And yun na nga, pag nadinig mo sila, akala mo sila para mga religious, akala mo sila parang pare o mga religious, nasa religious order, no? When they speak of the same, of that particular God that they also speak of, they talk about. Kaya ang sasabi mo talaga na, there is only one God. And that's what they say. There is only one God. All of them, kasi magkakaiba itong mga extraterrestrials na ito. As I have studied already consciousness from, I think I had dealt with three kinds of extraterrestrials from different planets. All right, okay, mawirduhan. Somehow later on, 2 years from now, you will already see extraterrestrials being exposed already on television or meeting them in person. Ito nga all right. I will just share to you some experiences. 2 months ago, all right, I will mention her name because she texted me. Si Princess Miriam Tanglao. Kiram, Princess Miriam Kiram, texted me, Tato, one evening, early evening, go out of your house, go out, look out, look up, you will see spaceships. You will see beautiful spaceships up. Sabi ko, So when I was reading that text message, sabi ko, ano nangyari? Bakit si Princess? Sabi ko, where are you now? I'm outside. I'm looking at them. Talaga? So I went out. She's staying in Cainta. I'm staying here in Quezon City. So, paglabas ko, wala naman ako nakita. Parang, balik uli ako sa Princess, sabi ko ganyan, wala naman akong nakikita. Ay, naku, ako sa iyo, sabi niya. But ako, I'm really seeing them. All right. And Princess is a friend of mine. She's just, I would say, a human being that actually is normal in terms of how she thinks, how she behaves. So when she mentioned that, hindi ko pinagdududahan na she was really looking at a spaceship. Sabi niya kasi, she was looking at a spaceship, and some spaceships up there. All right, so that's one. Now another friend, almost at the same time, although she did not call me up, but she shared to me another story. Tato, sabi niya gano'n. She's a girl, she's a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. She's a graduate of Ateneo, cum laude. Sabi niya sa akin, Tato, I actually saw a spaceship outside my window. And though that was almost the same time the princess was looking at that particular thing as well. So sabi ko, oh my God, ano na ito kaya? This is a sign already that they're here. Somehow, they are really trying to test siguro. Well, that's what they said. They are trying to test if people now are, or if human beings are ready now to actually meet them or be friends with them, no? Kasi baka mamaya pag nagpakita sila to everyone, tirahin sila ng mga missiles natin, no? Ano naman tayo rito. No, pag may nakitang unidentified object, ano kagad. And so somehow, parang they're sending feelers. And somehow, this is something that I am not doubting in terms of even the vision. I mean, even yung mga nakita ng mga friends ko, ano. Actually, there are two women who actually saw it almost at the same time. Hindi ko lang alam kung if they meant the same dates, but almost the same month. But anyway, so what am I now sharing here? I am learning from these ETs as well. I am being guided by some. I am actually getting messages from them, but I'm also learning from some videos of them on a regular basis, like Bashar and Cryon and Alcazar, to name a few. Okay, yung masyak. I mean, you can look at their videos and find out what they are talking, try to find out what they are saying. And I am going to really say they make more sense than other people who actually talk about the same thing. So, kaya sabi ko, my God, totoo, may ano talaga, may ETs. And even sa conversations with God of Neil Donald Walsh, I mean, God made mention of other lives in other planets, of other extraterrestrials. And ang term nga niya talaga is HEBs or HEBs or highly evolved beings. So we know that there are highly evolved beings already present everywhere or out there. And I am sharing what I had been learning from them. So basically, this is a preparation to the kind of world that we are now creating. Kasi sabi nila, we want you to create a new world that is really already what should be. You cannot create the old world. The old world is gone. You cannot create what had happened in the old world again in this new world. And we don't want you to fail. That's why we're guiding you. We're looking for people who can actually talk about what we can actually share, because we are not sharing this to everyone. Sabi nga nila, we're not sharing this on a broadcast station. We're sharing this through people. And so it is people like us, like me, who are now sharing what they're saying. And somehow, ito nga, we are now creating a new world. And that is what we want now to see. And what is it that will be there in this new world? We cannot create a new world unless we create it first in our inner world, inside us. Sa ating kamalayan, doon natin muna kinecreate yan. Kaya nga, eto nga, we have to evolve into a higher level of consciousness, because it is our higher level of consciousness that will create this new world. Otherwise, andun pa rin tayo sa 3D. Lumagpas na nga tayo lumagpas na nga yung Earth. Kaya tumigil yung Earth eh. Our Earth actually totally stopped everything for us. Why? Because sabi nga, it had already shifted from the third dimension to the fourth dimension level. And up to now, it's already speeding up to the fifth dimension level. And here we are still, nasa third dimension level pa rin tayo, where we experience suffering, all this pain, ito nga, yung pandemic, na yan, ganyan. But the moment we are able to transcend this, kaya natin mawawala yung sakit na yan. Lahat yan, wala na. We are going to now create a whole new system in us, a whole a healthy body na hindi na matatapuan ng kung ano-ano sakit. That's what the extraterrestrials are saying. The moment you are evolved already to this higher level, you will see a great change. You will be creating a new human. We are not creating robots. You will not be a robot. You will not be different from the way we are, the same kind of body, but we are now going to create a higher consciousness that would more of control our body. Kasi it is our consciousness, the level of consciousness that creates our sickness or our diseases. Kung ano yung sakit natin, nakikreate natin yan inside us through our beliefs, our emotions. Walang hawaan. Hindi naman tayo talaga nakakahawa eh. Cancer ba nakakahawa? Hindi naman nakakahawa ang cancer. Bakit ka nagka-cancer? Dahil sa mga paniniwala mo na may mga hinigpis mo, sa mga loob mo, mga galit. So yan ang mga tinuturo sa atin nitong mga taong mga extraterrestrials ito. So huwag kayong ma-shock if I actually share what I have learned from them, because that is where now I am getting most of the learnings, the best kinds of learning that I am able to see. And every day I'm studying, and I'm studying from them. I'm getting messages from them, and somehow they're all beautiful. Ito nga, nagtataka nga ako, bakit hindi tinuturo ito dahil hindi pa napag-aaralan ng iba. And I don't know why hindi pa nila matanggap na we are already in this kind of a world where we can now get information from everyone, from everything. Not only from the internet now, but from, channeled messages as well. So, yan ang isang bagay na kailangan natin maintindihan yan. So, huwag kayong masya-shock kung kayo ay nakakarinig ng mga ganitong salita ko, because basically, this will be, this is not anymore the new normal. We're not talking of any normal thing here. There will always be change. Puro pagbabago ito. So, basically, that is what we will expect up to next year. Hopefully, by next year, we can really now experience these changes that we are now looking for, na maganda na. And somehow, we'll be happier with. So with that, I'd like to say thank you for watching and keeping me company. Although hindi ka tayo na doon sa ating original kwa natin, no? But, I don't know, kung natitinig nyo ako, did I actually turn off my, problema ko dito, eh. I hope I actually did the right thing, no? So, si Cherry V. Santos is watching, si Madel Hazagawa, Yules the Great is watching as well, Maria Luisa, si Marisa Urquico, Via Lozano is watching, Mr. G, ayoko na ng melodramatic, sabi niya. Okay, Myla Itable, Gerard. Alright, sino pa ba mga, bakit ba na to? Sino pa ibang nanonood sa atin? Hindi ko na alam. Wala. Alright, I cannot anymore see the other names, no? Alright, anyway, so with that, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and somehow I hope that you'll keep me company again in the next class, which is going to be on Friday. So with that, I'd like to say maraming salamat at magandang kamalayan sa inyong lahat.